All right, we're going to start AP Physics by talking about something that shows up everywhere in this course, and that is the difference between vectors and scalars. So some quantity in physics just tell us how much of something there is, while other quantities tell us how much and the associated directions. All right, for example, a mass that has the value of, say, 5 kilograms. Now, for such quantity, there's nothing you have to say about its direction because it doesn't have a direction. So that's clearly a scalar. So scalar, as how we define it, is the kind of quantity that has only magnitude, which is the number, by the way, just fancy way to say number, right? With the proper units, of course, right? 5 kilograms, a kilogram is the unit, but it doesn't have any direction. Right? Think about how would you measure the direction of a mass, right? It doesn't matter how you put, an object on a scale, right? Do you put it upright or lay it down? It doesn't matter. Now, so what about a quantity named velocity? Let's say a velocity could be 10 meters per second. So now, if it's a velocity, and later on you guys will learn it has to be a vector. And to make sure that people know that you're talking about a vector, so you're going to specify the direction of the velocity. So we can put maybe to the north. All right, so now simply put, if you're specifying a vector quantity without telling people what a direction it is, it's just wrong. All right, so velocity, when you say 10 meters per second is a velocity, then people are actually waiting for you telling them what a direction the velocity is. Now, for now, I seriously don't want my students to memorize all that many fancy terms so that you can identify right away what kind of quantities or scalars and vectors, because, to be honest, you guys will have to learn them anyway along the entire course. So there's no need to memorize those names, but you know what? It's good to still know some of the basic, terminology, especially, for example, the scalars, right? Who doesn't know, say, time is a scalar, right? Mass is a scalar. Distance, well, that gets a little bit tricky since, we'll mention something that could be pretty confusing. It has very similar meaning as distance, but in physics, we have to emphasize on, the difference between the distance and something else which has a direction. Anyway, speed, right? But for some fancy terms like velocity, displacement, force, weight, acceleration, like I said, as you will learn them, somewhere along the way as we progress in the motion chapter. So there's no way you can miss them.